Thank you for tuning into another episode of War of Divisions, Meta Monday, take 3. Apparently I didn't know that switching to a headset mic would mess up my voice that much, so I watched one of my previous videos. It was actually pretty difficult to hear, so I apologize for the Faith and Brave boosting video. For those of you that didn't watch it, basically the fastest way to boost Faith and Brave is to have have 2 people use meditate, and then use that's each meditate is +2 brave, and then you have the Cecil TMR, that's +1 brave, so that's 5 brave AoE per level, or per stage. And then you can use Faith Rising from Killfay. That will give you an extra 3. I think that will give you 4 Faith per round. So I think that's probably the fastest way to get your Faith and Brave up. Okay, so meta discussion. My dog likes to come bother me. Stop. Go away. Okay. Okay. I think the big meta changer is gonna be Leviathan. This will kind of give some pushback or counter to the Pierce teams. Leviathan, this water and light thing, I think it's only good for this bestow ability. I think this is global exclusive. This is only good for, I think, Miranda in terms of water units. I was thinking Christmas Ramada, but no, that's Great Sword. So this is only good for Miranda, and even for Miranda, it's kind of cause Miranda is Red Mage, Time Mage, neither of which uses Slash. But the Paladin sub does use Slash for like 1 attack. So not so much Miranda. This is really Titus's bestowed effect here. But I don't know if you're gonna really want to level up Leviathan for the Titus, because Titus has his own card. This is more of a light slash unit card. So we're talking Thancred, Cecil, Ramza, those guys. That would make it that would kind of help out the light slash meta. Really, this card is kind of a small buff to Thancred in this upcoming meta. Because there's going to be a whole bunch of... Because Dwayne Kane is still a thing, but this will help out with that. And then this Crash Edge ability, this is why I think it's good for Thancred, because Thancred really... He has short range to begin with, but he also has no diagonal damage. This Vision card ability will give him some diagonal damage. I would pull the 10k step up just to get the Esper. The Esper is very interesting because it doesn't have any kind of attack type. Normally, Espers come up with what the hell? There we go. Normally, Espers come with a ability, either slash up, pierce up, missile up, whatever. This one is water attack up 25, fire killer 25, water defense 25. I think you can't really get 2 of the 25s. I think generally how it goes is you should be able to climb down 2 trees or 2 branches, but I don't think you can. But a lot of the 25 ones, I don't think you can actually climb down both. So you may or may not be able to get +25 on both. But I'll probably try to get +25 water attack, and then +25 fire eater, kind of as like an extra oomph to my one-shotting fire units. Not that there's a lot of fire units in the meta right now, so probably +25 water, 25 resist, or piercing resist is an important one. 15 piercing resist is pretty big, so +25 water, +15 pierce. But yeah, I would just get it just for the Esper. The Church Assassins card, I think this would probably make a good third card for the evade build, assuming you don't have House of Bealoff. Obviously, if you have House of Bealoff, use that over everything. That card's OP. I guess Chuckable would also be a good one because it gives evade, But if you don't have either of those, this is a good option. You can always try this card. You can give it to your lowest evade character, and basically the unit attack up will help them survive sharpshoot. You don't really have to worry about AOE sure hit attacks. Those are generally Esper evocations or energy blaster, but no one uses energy buster. That's kind of only 2 units have it, Kilfei and Skull, and neither of which run that. Cool thing about this upcoming week is we're gonna get these challenge keys. I'm hoping the challenge events come along with the challenge keys so you can unlock them. So you can go back and farm things like Sage's Hat, Smart Coat, things like that if you really need to get them. I don't have enough recipes for Sage's Hat +5, nor do I have enough for Smart Coat +5. So I'll probably try to go for those 2 specifically. The main thing I really want is light armor, and ice brand. Those are kind of fun items to have. Shadowbringers raid. The big thing about this raid is the item, which is the bale bagonet. This thing is pretty good. It basically nerfs the Dwayne meta. 25 disable resist, 10 pierce resist. So that screws both Dwayne and Kane. The thing with this helm is you'll probably only get 100 recipes like every other UR recipe. So that's enough for 1 +5, a +4, and you get a free +3. And I would take advantage of all 3, just because of how prevalent this able is right now. This will screw over Dwayne and Kane and Agrius to some extent. So I would definitely get as many of these as I can. If you can't get the +5 version, that's fine. I would at least get the okay, what the hell happened to my blue stacks? Okay, I would at least get 3 +2s just for the dispel resist. Just for the disable resist. Cool thing about this is you're getting 3 you're getting a +3. Hopefully you can get that by quests and it's not a buy it from the shop deal, because I'm not cool with that. Because generally they're pretty overpriced. For 3K I can save a substantial amount of farming. I think I would do it, but I would kind of have to. I would do it very begrudgingly. I would do it just because like my time is more valuable, so I'll buy it, kind of situation. I would not be happy about it. There's a bunch of raid quality of life updates. That's really good. And then the story. Chapter 11, scene 2. I guess this is just. I take it as just more like more awakening materials. The story, I think, in my opinion, is getting kind of a little slow. The progression is too slow. I like the story in the beginning, and then they started killing people off, which gave me a kind of Game of Thrones vibe, which is not something you would expect from Japan, because when Taite Kubo killed off a couple of his characters in Bleach, people were burning mangas and like telling him they hate him, etc., and tell him to die. So really, I didn't think Japan would be down with the Game of Thrones style of killing people off. And then they got a little rampant about that. So like, I feel like a good third of the characters on the UR list is dead or gonna be. Well, I mean, not UR list. I feel like a good third of the characters in in the whole list. Like, there's like a good 5 or 6 that are dead. There's like 2 or 3 that's dying, and then there's like 15 or 20 that never showed up. This is not including collab characters. But anyways, okay, into the meta. I'm gonna make a couple of predictions about the meta. You're gonna see Thancred and you're gonna see Niv'lu. You'll probably see Thancred in some kind of Dwayne Kane Thancred build or something like that. Bruiser setup. You'll see Niv'lu in probably tank double range, tank double missile build. So they'll probably swap out Lucia or Frederica for Niv'lu. I do expect to see more Thancred than I do Niv'lu because Thancred's free. So I think it'll be kind of like a 70-30 distribution, 70 to Thancred, because Niv'lu has several issues. One, you have to pull for her. Two, her +2 jump will really screw you on this map. Like, it's her +2 jump actually makes her pretty difficult to use on this upcoming map. Three, Niv'lu, people might have less time to max Niv'lu. Like, some people have Thancred from the previous event. But also Niv'lu is harder to run in a build. I'll put that out there. Thancred, Bruiser, any build that you could have used Cecil on, you could have used Thancred on. I'll put it that way. Albeit that Thancred has less range, but it's more tanky. And the Niv'lu world, it's hard to control her range. You gotta decide you gotta set up what moves she has to use. All three of her subs are viable, so like Niv'lu is more versatile, but definitely I believe it's harder to use. I'm surprised I was even able to get him to run the double quicken setup, which in and of itself is pretty nuts. Because that's really hard to coordinate between all your characters, especially without having no CT change. Anyways, I'm really sick of this map, and I hope they change the map soon. But yeah, I definitely see Thancred being more prevalent than Niv'lu, especially with this Leviathan card. This Leviathan card helps out Thancred a lot. Gives him more attack, more slash attack, more HP, cures his diagonal issue. Yeah. So Thancred even got a card to help support him. Well, Niv'lu also has Federica's Dreams, so not really. It's not that like Niv'lu's screwed or anything. I just believe that AI-wise, Niv'lu's AI is a lot harder to control than Thancred is. But that's just the difference in character, right? Range characters are generally a little harder to control because they do dumb things like run up to people when they should really be staying back. That being said, though, we may see a return in Agrius because of the bale bagonet. Because that counters both Kane and Dwayne, and really Dwayne's only status effect is the disable, and if you take that away, he's just a regular bruiser. He just does damage, and he'll do less damage than Super Stern. So I mean, he's only good. Basically, he's good for 2 weeks, and that's it. Which is usually how this game goes. Like, it's kind of flavor of the monthy, and then the character becomes a counter to somebody else later on in the line. Later on down the line, they're not gonna be too good, which is good for the game. I think that's actually good for Arena because I think the current Dwayne meta is a little ridiculous. Like, I don't think it's bad. Like, the Dwayne King Super Stern is an okay build. I'm just not cool with seeing like 70% of the top 100 being all Dwayne King Super Stern or some variation of which, right? Literally everybody. I have 20 people on a list in my arena, 10 above me, 10 below me. At least 18 of which are using some variation of Dwayne and Kane or some variation of Dwayne and Super Stern. So and most of the time they're not even using it right. Well, actually, I can't really tell if they're using it right or not because they die before they can even get close. But yeah, most of the time they got stuff. They're running stuff like Rising Twilight, Launch, things like that, which is really baffles me. Or Killing Axe. It's like his main thing is the disable, so you might as well run him with just disable and magic infuse, and and atonement. Those are his major highlights. I don't know why the hell people are running Killing Axe, Launch, really weird crap like that. Like horizontal jump, I can understand because he really needs some range, or it gives him better range. But anyways, I think another reason for kind of a wane in the Dwayne King build is that the Shadowbringers card is coming up. Well, people are probably able to build Shadowbringer and Scion of Shadow now. So, because it takes a while to actually max out the card. So we'll see more of those. So really, there. I don't know if this is partly timing because like this is the release schedule for Japan as well. But it just so happens that all the stuff that are getting released right now counters Dwayne. So it's kind of funny. Maybe Dwayne was too overpowered and there's too many of him that now they gotta kind of release all the counters at once. But also they released all the Pierce meta at once. Thancred, I think a cool build would be give him the Bale Bagonet on top of Leviathan and the Leviathan Esper. He can have something like 80% missile resist. He can have like 80 Pierce resist with his passive. Or if people are running pure gunner build, you can run Thancred with I think if you have Death Machine, you can run Thancred with 100% missile resist and just like 1v3. Cabbage actually has a video of that. Unfortunately, I don't have Death Machine, so I don't get to make that. I really wanted to make that video as well, but yeah, that's not happening. You might see Thancred run around with 90 missile resist. That's an option as well. Or you might see that build that Aaron J was talking about with the 100 defense Mont Engelbert build, where you use Thancred's Heart of Stone to give them 100% defense. I tried that build. Unfortunately, I don't have too many like successes with that build, and they were across several videos, and it takes a while to edit that. But basically, the 100% defense build, you're probably not going to see too much of because 100% defense isn't like 100 missile resist. There are ways to counter that, being like a lot of characters have innate defense penetration, or they have skills that penetrate defense, like firing stance, uh, master abilities that penetrate defense, defense lowering abilities like Spider Rain and Hazard Crasher. Basically, because Super Stern's running around, it's hard for you to run 100% defense effectively because you have to specifically pick your opponents. Um, and I mean, every arena you have to pick your opponents, but like the amount of thought that comes into a I'm gonna run 100% defense is a lot harder for you to pick certain opponents because you can't fight Laswell, you can't fight Super Stern because those guys got defense penetration. You can't fight Niv'lu because Niv'lu got defense down and defense penetration. So there's a lot more defense counters than there is like slash resist, pierce resist, especially missile resist. There is no missile resist counter. Nothing lowers missile resist. Pierce resist, there's pierce lance, sword resist, there's exorcist, but nothing really lowers missile resist. So if anything, if you have Death Machine, I would just say put on Death Machine and go hunting for missile. Versus if you're gonna try the Pierce build or the 100 defense build. 100 defense obviously has other perks, but you also have to avoid magic when you run 100 magic when you run 100 defense build because Engelbert, Mont, those guys are all super weak to magic. Uh, so I just don't think like it's a niche build. I won a game at like top 70 with it, but I feel like it's more luck than anything because Mont is super AP starved, and I need a Dario sword for me to run that Mont Thancred build. Because Mont doesn't have enough AP. Also, the Mont Thancred build, and to the same extent, Engelbert Thancred build for the 100 defense build, you have to avoid Dwayne, and Dwayne's freaking everywhere. Because if Dwayne hits you with a magic infuse, you don't have the AP to counter with a taunting blade. And I'm saying Dwayne hits you because Dwayne is 100% faster than is always going to be faster than Mont and Engelbert. So if he hits you with a magic infuse, you're screwed. Your taunt's not going off. And you kind of need the Leonis card to have the max defense, so you can't be running Vow of Love. So that's another issue. Or if he just tags you with a stray darkness, and you get disabled, you're screwed too. So too many holes in that build. 100 defense is kind of a niche, fun to play build, but like yeah, they don't rank with that. That's probably not gonna work. Unless Aaron J can pull out a better build. Um, Like maybe he can make it work. But I was doing Dwayne, Thancred, and Mont because I don't have a leveled up Engelbert, but he does, so he might be able to pull that off. Uh, but from my point of view, it's kind of like you can probably run it in top 2-3,000 and be okay, but in the top 1,000 it'll be a little difficult because there's freaking Dwayne everywhere. But there's gonna be a like I said, there's gonna be a decrease in the number of Dwaynes. You'll probably so my 4 predictions, right? Decrease in the number of Dwaynes. You'll see a decrease in you'll see a a resurgence of Agrius because there's more status effects there. Probably see less Pierce. But Kane's still gonna be around. Like Kane's gonna be around no matter what. And you'll definitely see Thancred and Niv'lu because unlike the Christmas event, Thancred was free. So you'll see a bunch of Thancred and Niv'lu, and I expect it to be somewhere where it's like you'll see 70% Thancred and 30% Niv'lu. But other than that, they really need to change the map because this map is really really bad. For all sorts of reasons. Uh, not be it but mostly it's because like it kills off evade and magic, so really hoping magic and evade will come back a little bit to add a bit more flavor. At a certain point I really hated evade but now it's kind of like, oh, I miss evade because everybody's running the same thing now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Meta Monday, Ultimate Chi signing out.